I have not read a book by Christopher Love that I didn't love. Yet at the same time, a book by his that didn't bring me in some manner closer to Jesus Christ, which is the point of the minister's works. That's what the minister is supposed to do. He's supposed to bring us closer to Christ. Most of Love's works have been republished. There are just a couple that are hanging in the balance, and many of them, unfortunately, have gone out of print, and we've published 4 or 5 at this point. But we're now adding this new work, this exegetical and practical treatise on, and this is the title, Christ's Ascension and Second Coming from Heaven. You know, we don't hear a lot about Christ's ascension. Love explains John 14:3. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. He focuses on Christ's ascension, or as he says, going up to heaven. He says, this is the ground and great comfort and great advantage to all of Christ's people while they dwell here on earth. And if the ascension is true, and it is, you ought to have an interest in Jesus Christ in this doctrine. Why? Because practically, the Christian should not be afraid to die. Death, in conjunction with this particular doctrine, yes. Because your Christ, Love says, is in heaven. And when you die, death is but a trapdoor to let you into endless joy where Christ is. Now, equally, Love minds out the benefits of Christ's ascension and being given full power. It's in his coming to judgment. As much of an unpopular idea as judgment might be, Love says that the benefit of Christ's coming, right, he ascended, now he's going to come, is to raise your bodies from the dead and receive you to himself. That is the particular point he's making when Christ says, I will receive you to myself in John 14. So if the Spirit that raised up Christ from the dead, Love says, dwells in you, and you have the graces of the Spirit, that same Spirit shall quicken your mortal bodies. What an awesome thought that is. We often think of Christ's judgment in a bad way as Christians, but the bodies of the elect shall be raised from the dead and received into glory where Christ is right now in heaven. This is an exceedingly comforting thought for believers to discern, and so Love explores what that means. Because we're going to be with Christ in heaven for all eternity when he returns. And, as a side note, Love dispels quite radically the 1,000-year literal earthly reign of Jesus Christ. The first third of the book, he talks about Christ's ascension. The last third of the book, he talks about, biblically speaking, Christ's coming in judgment. Yet in the middle of the work, he presents 8 unbelievable arguments that utterly demolish the literal 1,000-year earthly reign of Christ. And so, in thinking about that as a side note, that is a helpful aspect to understand where your eschatology might be and where it needs to actually go. So, this work is available right now at Puritan Publications. Go to www.puritanpublications.com. It's available both in ebook and in print form. We don't hear very much of Christ's ascension in Sunday sermons. We always hear about his life and his death and his resurrection. And when we hear about his second coming, it's often in judgment in the sense that it's a bad thing. But here, this whole work with Christopher Love is about encouragement for the Christian to understand rightly what it means that Christ has ascended and he's coming again. May the Lord bless you abundantly as you study along with Christopher Love on this most comforting topic.